Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
This is Erika.
And this is Sherry.
And this is
Generation Conversation,
where new school beats old school.
Meets old school.
Whatever.
Episode 20.
20, baby. Yes, episode 20.
We made it, Mom.
So, in honor of episode 20, big things. Of course, we're going to be getting better, getting feedback. We also are going to set up text messaging subscriptions.
Yes.
So you subscribe to text messages and we're going to blow you up every single time.
No, we're not.
Just kidding.
No, we're not. Don't scare them.
No, but it's going to be a great way for you guys to get updates on episodes, get insight on us, more insight on us if you want. And then also maybe some giveaways, little secret things that we won't release on our social media.
Right.
But make sure you're following all of our social media to get these updates on when we're going to drop the text messaging subscription.
Right.
So stay tuned. We're very excited about that.
Yeah, the best part about it is that you can get an update when an episode drops. You know, we'll send you a text message so you know, bam, at this episode dropped. You can check it out right then and there. You don't have to go searching for it or anything like that. So that's good.
Yep.
All right. So, Erika, what is this episode about?
It is called Friends.
Woohoo! How many of us have them? Friends.
The
Ones we can't depend on.
Yes, friends. Such a great topic.
It is a great topic.
I honestly don't feel like it's discussed enough. If you think about it, we talk about relationships,
right?
Romantic relationships.
Right.
We might like dab on friendships, but
Right.
friendship is big. And,
It is big.
You say how you think it's changed a lot over the years,
do.
and I'm interested to see how you feel that way because, like I
Right.
said, we never really think about friendships.
Right. We take them for granted.
Yeah, for sure.
But I definitely think that there is a big difference between generations and how we value friendships and how we treat our friends and things like that.
Yes. So I'm excited to see what she got to say.
And I'm excited to see what you got to say as well.
Yeah. So what does a friend mean to you?
So to me, a friend is somebody that you can trust with your secrets, just trust that they have your best interest at heart. A friend is somebody that you can rely on, you can depend on, you feel comfortable with. And of course there's levels of friends.
Yeah.
You know, you have your closest friends, who sometimes is closer to you when it comes to certain things than family.
Right.
Right. And then you have your friends that, maybe you work with or friends that you hang out with or whatever. So, but I think a good friend is somebody that's all around, can fit all of those things.
Right, exactly. I definitely do feel as though friends for different things. And I was telling someone the other day, I love all my friends are different from each other because I feel as though they tap into the different parts of me. We are one person, but we have so many different parts of ourselves. And I feel like friends do a good job of bringing those sides out of each other, out of us. I've always thought different people bring out different sides of you. And then a lot of times people are more drawn to people because of that side they bring out of them.
Right.
So I feel like friends are fascinating in that way because you don't really realize it until you're around one friend and you're acting one way and then you're around another friend acting another way. You're like, wait, but it's still you, but it's just different parts of you.
Yeah.
So I definitely comfort level, feeling comfortable with friends, and just someone you can open up to. Different levels, of course. Some people you might not share everything with. Some people they know your whole personal life. But just friends, I feel like dependable is across the board. I can't consider you my friend if I don't feel like I can depend on you. I mean, some people you could depend on more than others.
Right. In different situations.
Right. I might could depend on you to come get food with me. That could be the level of
food with
you? Some people it's just if I hit you up because food is my thing. If I hit you up and be like, let's go get some food, I know you're going to be like, okay, come on, let's go get some food.
Too.
Yeah,
I got you.
Some people, I can depend on you if I'm in trouble and I need some help. I'm running from the cops or something,
Oh, Lord.
So,
okay.
It's levels.
Ride or die.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's true. And then the thing is that friendships are very much like your relationships that you have with your romantic partner or whatever, just without the romance. If you think about it.
Well, and then too, because I be feeling like some try to make you or replace you as are under the impression that you are their romantic partner. Like they take it too far.
Right.
Like they want you to tend to them in those ways.
Right.
Not like as deep, but just like
affection.
Yeah,
and just like the emotional part of it.
Yeah, like
right.
okay, you do need an emotional level. Need to meet the emotional levels of your friends, but sometimes I feel like they take it a little too far.
I get that.
They want you on their beck and call and just. It just
that friend needs a boyfriend. Or
that's what I'm saying. So they try to fill that void.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say.
Right.
So do you feel as though friendships are necessary or important?
I do. I really do, because I think, first of all, that everybody needs somebody that they can talk to, and it has to be somebody outside of their relationship too, because if you're totally dependent on your significant other for, like you said, like your emotional needs, to be there for you, I think that's too much.
Yeah.
I think that's too much pressure you're putting on them, and you need somebody else. And everybody is needy to a certain extent.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's needy. So, you need to balance that out. And I think having a friend definitely balances it out. Now, do you need a whole bunch of friends? Probably not.
No.
You know what I mean? But like you said, you made a good point where you need different friends for different things. But for the most part, I definitely think friends are very, very necessary.
Yes.
Because, when you're having some kind of maybe like disagreement with somebody, your significant other, your children, or somebody, you have this person, that you can turn to and say, okay, what do you think? Give me your perspective.
Right. So. I agree. So do you feel as though you're obligated to call your family your friends?
No. Family is family because family is not chosen. Okay?
Yeah.
You don't pick your family, you know what I mean? They're your family. You deal with them because they're your family a lot of times. Because if you think about your family, if you really, really think about your family, how many people in your family, if they weren't family, you would be friends with? Probably not many.
Probably not a book.
Probably. If you really think about it and be honest with yourself.
No, for real though.
You know what I mean? There may be somebody that you cool with.
Yeah, they might be tolerable.
Right. But they wouldn't be as close to you as they are as your family.
Right.
So I think that there is definitely a difference. Do you think that?
But I mean, if you think about it though too, your family is you. So like, if you're saying, would you pick your family? What makes you is your family. I feel like if in the same environment you all are brought up, so you all have the same type of tendencies. So you would be drawn to them even if they weren't your family, if they had those tendencies.
It depends on what family you come from. You got to remember now, everybody doesn't necessarily like where they came from or what they're used to or how they were raised or things like that. And then sometimes, if you're too much like each other, you don't really want to be around people like that.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's definitely ones where you're like,
Right. You're like, good thing you're my family.
Yeah, because, baby.
I wouldn't even know you right now.
No, seriously. But, you gotta love your family. So do you feel as though you could call, well, I have, this is not even a question for you. You consider a lot of people who aren't family, like blood family. Yes. So yes. I definitely agree.
Yes.
I got like 29 people who are my cousins, and I don't know if they're really my cousins.
Right.
But
it doesn't matter if you think about it. It doesn't matter.
I find myself, instead of trying to explain how I know them, they just my cousin.
Right.
That's my cousin.
Nice and easy.
Yep.
Nice and easy. And because, and honestly, most of them, if anybody was to come over to a family event and they would be there, you know what I mean? They probably would be like, oh yeah, that is her cousin.
Yeah. So do you think that everyone should have a best friend?
I do. Now, I don't think everybody's going to agree with me, but I believe that everybody needs a best friend. They need that partner. They need that partner.
You're my person.
Yes, you're my person. I'm your person. We're each other's person.
Yeah.
I believe that God, how God, they say God, has a spouse for you. I think he also has a best friend for you. You know what I mean? I really do. And, a lot of times people are like, I have more than one best friend. I don't know if that's possible. What you think?
I don't know. Because
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That's tough.
It is. Because I think if you're saying best, that's one.
Yeah, that is one. So, okay, us. I always say you are my best friend.
But I'm not really your best friend.
You not? Oh, wow, guys. I'm just getting my heart broken.
I'm not. I'm your mother.
But
I'm your mother. But I'm your mother. Okay, first of all, you can't tell me anything and everything.
Facts.
Okay, I don't want you to tell me anything and everything.
Facts.
Okay, so that's first. And then, you know, I'm your mother first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I expect you to have a real best
Right,
friend. I don't
right.
mind you calling me your best friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of like it. You know what I mean? But
you don't call me your best friend.
I know, because you're my daughter.
Okay, so I no longer have a best friend in my mother.
You're my little best friend.
Your little broke.
You're just not broke.
I ain't broke.
Used to be
Call
very
me what
broke.
you want, but you can't call me broke. Yes.
So, you know, yeah, I think that, you know, and if everybody's being real with themselves, a lot of people, okay, you know how we use the word, the world uses the word love just loosely.
Yeah.
I think people use best friends loosely.
I
too.
agree.
You know
I
what I
agree.
mean? They're like, oh, that's my best friend. No, it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I don't know. I feel like people are sensitive though because they call you your best,
And
their
you don't
best
call them
friend,
back.
and you're just like,
I know. So that has to be, I think for it to be true, it has to be mutual.
oh yeah, for sure. But it's like, how do I break it to them that they're not my best
You don't
friend?
have to. You don't have to.
But then they think that I'm their best friend, and I.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay,
You know what I
guys.
mean? It's okay.
I guess.
Yeah, it's all right.
So, what about some generational differences in friendship that you think? I don't really know too many.
You don't think? Do you think that?
Well, I don't think about it. So,
Right,
enlighten me. I don't
right.
know.
So I think that friendships coming up in my time were more solid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were somebody's friend and it was truly more like family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you really couldn't, if you had a best friend, you really couldn't differentiate. You would forget yourself that, dang, I'm not even related to her. You know what I mean?
Right.
You go to the hospital and you be like, yeah, I'm here to see my cousin. And they be like, you know, how is she related to? Oh, you be like, oh, you know what? Dang, that's right. You know what I mean?
Right.
She's not. But, and I think that the best friends now, I think it's based on a lot of different things.
Like what?
I don't want to say it's shallow, but
You want to say it's shallow?
kinda is based on, you know, oh, you know, she looks, you know, me and her look, you know, we got good looks in common, or we, you know, this, or we both like to party, or we both like, it's just based on, and even if you become, you know, really, really close as a result of it, I think what causes you to become friends is shallow. You know what I mean? You know, she's my best friend because, you know, me and her, we hang out all the time. She's my best friend because we be cracking up, or, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's not what makes a best friend. And I honestly don't think that you can pinpoint your best friend from the door. I think a best friend becomes your best friend over time without you even saying it, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what you think?
I would agree. I can agree. One thing I do that think is different is the amount of contact y'all had.
Yeah.
Of course, because social media.
Right.
So I feel like we don't feel as obligated to reach out to friends
Right.
anymore because, I can just see what they're doing. I can look at their story. I can look at their social media. I don't got to hit them up every day. That's a big thing in this generation. I mean, granted, you know, I don't feel like I have to hit up my friends every day, but you used to have to do something to initiate that. Like now I could just look and see, let me just check in, like laugh at their post, and that's enough.
Right.
But before, you really would be like,
I mean,
or
you
see
really
them,
talk to them on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, literally talk to them on the phone like every day. Like your best friend, you would talk to on the phone every day, whether it was just quick. What you doing? All right, I'm gonna call you later. You know, I'm getting ready to do this, and you kind of told your best friend almost everything that you were getting ready to do. You know what I mean? I don't know why, you just did. And then of course we had a lot more face-to-face contact. You know, as having a best friend, you saw them all the time, no matter where they were. You go see them.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
So that's, you know.
So speaking of best friends,
Woo-hoo, guess what?
we got a surprise. We're gonna bring our best friends here on the show. So who's your best friend?
Everybody that knows me knows that my best friend is Doreen Harbison.
Yes.
AKA Auntie Reenie.
Exactly. And she's actually my godmother.
Right.
So, and that's another thing. Everybody knows that is your best friend.
Does everybody know your best friend?
Yeah. I think
that they're your best friend?
My best friend is Justice. Has been my dog for a minute now.
Right.
But like you said, like you've grown into best friend. We'll get into more of that, like how we became best friends.
Right.
But it's like we weren't best friends off the jump because we had so much in common type of thing.
Right.
But
That's true.
and then y'all have more years on us.
Yeah,
so it'll be different. It'll be interesting to see like why we consider ourselves best friends, what makes y'all best friends.
Right.
But yeah, we're gonna pull them on and it's gonna be fun.
Yes, hold on, let's get them on.
Okay, so
like we said,
we got our besties and the GC. So I got my dog Justin.
And I got my dog Auntie Renee. From the 215.
Hey, 215.
So, we're bringing them on just to give a taste of our relationships, old school, new school. We're gonna play a little game, see how well we know each other. So y'all wanna go first? Old people first.
Excuse me.
Age before beauty.
Girl.
No, you know what? Age is before beauty, but when you have age and beauty, it's a win-win. I'm just saying.
No, you're right. Y'all fine.
So, okay. So do you know Auntie Reed's favorite color?
Absolutely. She's my best friend.
Okay, what is it?
Orange.
Okay.
Black for my bestie.
Did you know my favorite color?
Yes, we're not talking
Okay,
about right now.
I'm just trying to show the relationship here.
Okay.
Red.
Green.
I said, you right.
All right. You know your best friend's middle name and how to spell it.
No.
You don't know her middle name?
I really don't.
What kind of best friend is this?
The best friend that I could ask for.
Exactly.
But,
Justice, do you know Erika's middle name?
Danielle?
Oh my God.
Listen. And that means generation conversation.
Right.
Lynette, thank you very much.
But I'm telling you, Doreen knew my best friend. Knew my middle name a long time ago.
Yeah.
I knew her middle name a long time ago. Sometimes I call her by her middle name.
Yeah.
Wait, just is it Marie?
What's it? Huh?
Is your middle name Marie?
That sounds pretty. She had to think. Oh my God.
No, I didn't have to think. I just don't like my middle name to be out there. I got two middle names though.
Okay. So is she right with the initial M?
Yeah. She's right with one of them.
Okay. See?
I need to get to know each other a little bit.
She got the D right. Dominique.
What's your middle name? Dominique.
Yes.
Right. We ain't worry about that.
Full-fledged name I call her is Doreen Arnett. I would say Arnett up, but Arnett Harbison Jr.
Why you put her government name out there? You know she's scared of that.
Yeah, it's okay though. It's okay. If this was 30 years ago, I would probably punch her through the camera. But
what's her middle name and what's her maiden name?
Come on, boo.
Okay, what's her maiden name before?
Listen, yes, Sherry, Lynette, Fluff, Fennell. Oh,
put my nickname out there. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, just what's my favorite food?
Seafood.
And just say
Can she be specific about seafood? Seafood is very general.
I like all seafood.
She like them, a lot of them, every version. Not every, but shrimp, crabs.
Erika.
No.
When we talked about food, you had a favorite. Just did you not listen to that episode?
It was crabs.
Very good.
Our favorite food is the same food. Well,
yeah,
seafood, but just like it all. Just all of it.
Just seafood.
Yeah, just from New Orleans. So.
Oh, you're originally from New Orleans, Justice?
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Auntie Renee's favorite food.
Oh, you stuttering?
Yeah, because we don't really have favorite foods.
Oh,
I can tell you.
Now y'all ain't got favorite food.
No. It's okay.
Her favorite food that she cooks.
That's not what I asked.
But Auntie Renee likes let me see,
Because I'm trying to think if I'm doing a starch, I'm doing a green, or I'm doing a it varies. So if I'm doing
It does.
some form of chicken,
Yep.
okay, and if we go out, she'll get chicken fingers or
Chicken nuggets?
No, she'll get chicken nuggets depending on where we go. But
Yeah. I have upgraded a little bit now to the whole salmon thing.
right.
Yeah. But for years, no matter where I went, I would get chicken tenders, or chicken breast, or a chicken sandwich.
Right. Even a chicken salad sometimes.
Yeah, chicken salad. Yeah.
Yep. Chicken.
So what's her favorite food?
I would say, specifically as far as seafood, and I'm not a seafood person, she knows that, but the crab legs.
Okay. That's not what you said.
Oh, okay. What you
I
said?
said a different seafood.
You got it.
Okay.
Y'all got it.
Okay.
And this is a random one. I'm gonna just throw out there.
Oh boy. Okay.
What do y'all know each other's? Do we know each other's pet peeves? Anybody could go first. I think that's a funny one. Like, what gets on your nerves, or what do you think gets on your best friend's nerves?
Well, it depends on. Do you mean? A broadness, like, because when it comes, well, see, with my best friend, when it comes to certain things, like if it's about work, don't be late.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Let's just say without outside of work.
Okay.
I think anybody get annoyed at anything at work.
Yeah. Well,
I know for work, Erika, she doesn't like when the people don't communicate with her.
Thank you.
Outside of work, what is on Erika nerves? I don't know. You gotta go first.
Oh, I know what Doreen doesn't like.
What?
Doreen doesn't like when someone is trying to get over on her.
Oh my God.
when they probably aren't even trying to.
When it comes
it depends, but yeah, if it's like, just be straight up.
That's what I was gonna say about Just. Just pet peeve is lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even a little white lies.
Yeah. Because I can't. I don't. My respect is just like out the door. And then after I give you a chance, you know what I mean? I think Sherry pet peeve is not allowing her to get her point across. Like she needs to be right. No, not right. She just needs to be able to state her point, and then y'all can agree to disagree.
I should have married my best friend.
Okay, that's good. So with all that being said, do y'all think like this stuff matters? I mean, like favorite color, favorite food. Like granted, I didn't know Jess' middle name, or we didn't really know each other's middle names, but is that really what makes a best friend, do y'all think?
I think that in time, all of those things will come to pass as your best friend, as your friendship grows, right? So, I got a million stories, but I'm just saying, when I met my best friend, and yes, September 20th, 1988, booyah, I'm just saying, y'all ain't got to know, because I know y'all millennials, it's okay, everybody's not like me. However, when I met her, we ain't have no idea we were going to be best friends, right? I met her at work. She knew I was starting work that day because my old boyfriend, right? And so she came over, introduced herself, bubbly, and then here you have it, almost 33 years later. And I will say this, in 33 years, we have never not talked.
Yep. Yeah. Now that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is.
And we live together. I moved in.
Super amazing. Because living together, that brings out some serious things. You know what I mean? Yeah. That brings out some serious things. So
that's tough. That's an obstacle that'll make or break.
You got to learn. You got to be living with somebody. You got to respect them.
Yeah.
And it may not even be intentional that you're not respecting them, but you got to that's when you got to really know them, because you got to know what bothers them, what doesn't, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it really matters. I think it doesn't really matter, but I think, like Doreen said, that it'll come. So it doesn't matter that you don't know her color. But one of the things I said, like, when you do like the Pollyannas and the Secret Santas and stuff like that, I don't like doing the list. Because I feel like you should know these people, so you should know what they like. You should pay attention to them and listen to them all year. You got a whole year to listen to them. They like and stuff, and then buy gifts based on that.
And I think like colors and stuff like that. Like Auntie Renee, we know orange is your favorite color because you be wearing orange. You be rocking orange. Like you always wear black. But me and Jess, like that's my favorite color, but we don't really be devoted to it like that. Like the stuff that matters to us, we know. I feel
right. And like on top of that, I feel like that's just extra little nuggets, like you said. Like I know, what drink Erika likes, so like for her birthday, I got her that drink. I know what she needed, some AirPods, so I got her some AirPods. So it's just like you said, listening to them instead of like just going through the conversation, going through the motions, like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite? We had that conversation, but we forgot 1,000 times what we said when we figured out like what our favorite everything is. But it's more important to like really get to know who that person is instead of, every little thing about them.
Right. Good point. Yes. So our next question, Auntie Winnie, you kind of touched on it already, is we want to know, and you guys could go first, is how you guys met.
Oh, okay.
And you can tell it together.
So yeah, I mean, like I don't remember like the first time I saw.
Well, we do.
Okay. But because we might have seen each other before we actually formally met, because we played volleyball, club volleyball together. So we might have, like now that I think about it, we might have competed prior to. I don't remember, but it's a possibility.
Right.
Played club volleyball, but we were just cool, We was friends, and we just sometimes we would hang out outside of volleyball, and from there we went to college. Both went to college in Florida. Yeah,
we didn't talk for like 2 years.
Yeah, we didn't talk for a minute, and I don't even remember like why we.
Erika, I don't know how we started talking, but maybe it was Instagram. Honestly, we just probably connected on Instagram and started like commenting back and forth on each other's stuff and DMing each other. And then Erika invited me out to Tampa for the weekend. And then after that weekend, it was like, we just talked all the time.
Yeah.
And we just been best friends like ever since. And we had like some deep conversations that weekend. Like,
yeah, that's what it was. Like, I feel like because we were away from home too, and it was like we were home essentially.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like we really opened up to each other, and it wasn't like nothing for us. We just was talking, and it's just we was like, okay, like I really vibe with
just
her.
flow.
Right. She might be about a little something.
Right.
Well, I think I will say that that's a cool thing. I think as far as the whole social media and you all in this era, because that listen to how y'all just said, through Instagram, y'all was able to reconnect.
Right.
Whereas, in our day, we didn't even have the cell phone at first. So
yeah, we touched on that earlier in the episode about, how we had more face-to-face contact, more telephone contact.
Right.
But the thing is with you guys, coming back like that, y'all had already probably had a ton of friends.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like,
I mean?
I had people who I thought were my best friends. I was calling my best friend. And then like it dwindled out, and then it was like Jess was still there. We still was hanging out and stuff. And it was, I feel like our biggest thing is the distance, because Justice lives in Florida. I live here in Georgia, but we're still able to, our relationship is stronger than people who live in the same state. Like we're still able to talk to each other, and we can go days without talking to each other, but it's still still love. It's still friends. So I feel like that made a difference too.
Right. And the fact that we like mentally, I feel like we're on the same page spiritually. Like we're both you know, try like on the same path. Like we think the same. So like out of all of her friends, I feel like, and out of all of my friends, I feel like we're the same. We're the most alike, not in a bad way, but just like, you know, how we go about our life. We are similar. So whenever I need advice or she needs advice or we need to talk through things, like I know that I'm gonna get the good that I need and that will go along with my morals and what I'm set up as opposed to some of my other friends.
Right.
Good point.
Right.
That's a very
Good
point.
That's valuable. And I didn't realize that how valuable that was until life happens, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, you gotta lean forward, Miss Sherry.
We couldn't hear you.
Oh, I said you don't know, like at the beginning, that your best friend is going to be your best friend.
Right.
That's
Right.
the crazy part. You know what I mean? You go through a lot of people, and some of the people that you spare is going to be your best friend. Not at all.
Right.
But and you know what I think too? I think like for you guys, you know, y'all we still was around the same age, but we chose to do that college for a second and then we wanted to work, right? So we that's what we both did, right? But we were still in that early 20 bracket, so to speak. And like, you know, like Sherry said, I didn't come into her life and meet her friends and be like, oh, I need to be her best friend. And she didn't come into my life and meet my friends and be like, oh, I need to be her best friend. It was just over time, you know what I mean? And like you said, life circumstances. And to this day, and I think that speaks volumes, like for me and Sherry to this day, everybody we were cool with in high school, because she went to a different high school, I went to a different high school. We still are cool enough with them people that it's all good, but it was different. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
So, okay, that was good, guys.
We gotta tell her how we and Doreen.
Oh, I thought she gave you the downplay.
She kind of did.
She did. She said what the date was. Did she say what you had on?
She started work. She had a boyfriend. You was all bubbly.
Okay, move on.
Yes. It could be on there.
It's okay, Sherry. It's okay. They'll, you know, as time goes on, they'll start to remember those very important things.
Just say what you said, the dialogue real quick. The dialogue of what she said.
I'm sorry, what was that again? I didn't hear you.
Can you give us the dialogue of what she said to you?
Oh, yeah. So, okay, take it all the way back 30 years. We're in the work atmosphere, and it was called our pods or our cubicles. So two people to a cubicle. So her department was right over there, but we all still, you know, we did the same basically work. So she came over there. She was like, Doreen? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I'm Sherry. Tony told me you was going to start today. And I was like, oh, Sherry, how are you? She was like, fine. Listen, we go to lunch at this time, so you can come back and go to lunch with us at this time. And she had on her name earrings. So I was, and I'm getting ready to say, so looking back now, I was definitely like even though I'm older, I was more of the slow paced one. Like, you know, Sherry was fashioned and, you know, she had her hair, fat cheeks, never wore heels. Sherry did not wear heels for the first, I don't even know how many years. And she had on this, like this two-piece dress outfit. And she was like, okay, so I'm gonna come back over at lunchtime, and then you can start going to lunch with us, okay? And I was like, sure.
Up and stuck since then.
Yeah, and we never parted. We just got closer and closer.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're just about to just fire out some questions, real quick questions, but just tell us what y'all think. Do you guys think, do y'all think that guys and girls can just be friends?
I think if they're not attracted to each other, like if they don't think the person looks good, then they can just be friends. But if one person thinks the other person looks good, or usually the man is going to think the woman looks good, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
That's a good point. I was going to say if one of them thinks the other one's ugly, but you said it much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, because if you're an attractive girl, I feel like guys are going to be attracted to you. And then it's like, okay, the reason behind them even talking to you, guys don't approach you to just want to be a friend.
But it depends on how you meet them. Like you can meet them through a virtual,
Mutual friend
at a place, and you just. I have a lot of Doreen. Me and Doreen both have a lot of male friends.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Erika don't.
What I will say is, I think most of the times, and this may be in a lot of things, I think we have to define the relationship, because just like
and I tell Erika that. Yeah,
just like you say, Erika, guys aren't meeting us to be friends, right? And so even if they really attracted to you, or they just think you got something that they like, you know what I mean? And so we as the women have to define, okay, you want to stay in the friend zone, or it could be potential. So.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to control, and it's possible. It's possible. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. Not with these new age boys. They don't know what friendship is.
Well, like that's the thing. Yeah, that's a difference, because one thing that I noticed is that the guys now, they're okay with not being your friend if they're not going to be your boyfriend. But the friends that we had, they look at it like, okay, I'm not going to be her boyfriend. I'm cool with being her friend because I just want to be around her because she's cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like,
and I also think, go ahead, Ricky.
Thinking that I can move to something else. Like they live, oh yeah, I'll be your friend, but still be trying to speak and be more than
waiting for that opportunity.
Right.
Well, and I think that's also region based too. I think what me and Sherry learned, because of course Sherry came to Georgia first. What we learned was, and to this day, the Northern brothers, they like none other.
Yeah, they different. No, that's very true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. So what do you guys think is the most important quality in a friend?
Auntie Rita?
I say trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just important, because if they're your best friend, they hold a lot of your stuff. Yeah. They hold a lot of your stuff, and you are entrusting them with, things. And I read one place, it said, if something happens to me and I was to die, make sure my best friend get my cell phone. Make sure my computer, all my computers, not even my spouse. They were saying, give it to my best friend, because they already know everything that's in there.
And I'm getting ready to say, so, and with trust, that's an umbrella, because to me, trust, respect, and loyalty, and all of those, you know what I mean? Because if I trust you, I'm going to respect you, and you got my loyalty, and of course, different. Each of us have different, I think, characteristics of who we are anyway. Like I'm once you in, it may take a minute, but once you in, I'm loyal to a fault. But then when I cut you, I cut you, right? But it's like, I mean, and me and Sherry have had, I'm like, girl, you ain't even, listen, I am loyal to you like glue, like, I don't care what.
He is.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna say accountability. Me and Jess talk about that a lot. Like someone who can hold you accountable. Because first of all, not a lot of people like being held accountable, and not a lot of people are willing to hold you accountable. But especially I feel like in this age, me and Jess are, and how we're trying to grow and evolve. Like I'll be like, okay, girl, I'm trying not to do this, or I'm trying to better myself in this. I'm telling you this so that you can hold me accountable and get on me. And even sometimes she may come back and be like, hey, Erika, you said, and I do not want to hear it.
Right.
That's real. Like, and then some people you can tell it to, and they don't say nothing. They don't go use it or help you.
Right. You don't want a best friend that just goes along with
you. Move up, Sherry.
Right.
Yeah.
We couldn't hear you.
You don't want someone that goes along with everything you say.
Yeah.
You don't want that's not a best friend. You know what I mean? A best friend's gonna tell you, no, you're wrong. You know what I mean? A best friend's gonna tell you, you shouldn't have did that, or that's great, or whatever. So that's a difference.
And
I agree.
I'm getting ready to say, and I think I know for me, younger, like accountability is such a big word now, right? But it's always been there. It just came out in different ways, right? So
Right.
we didn't have to, me and Sherry didn't ever have to say like I'm holding you accountable or whatever.
Right.
However, our actions,
Right.
evolved around that, and
Right.
it was kind of like we knew, and like she said, even when like she know to this day, I'm going to say something, right? She could tell me, she could be right. I'm gonna say something, and then we hang up the phone, and then 2 days later, I'll be doing what she said I need to do.
Right.
I come back to her, you know what I mean? And then I know sometimes when she get quiet on the phone,
Right.
she ain't really trying to hear it.
She ain't trying to, right.
Yeah. Okay. So, we are each other's best friends, but what are the longest friendships you guys have? Like, you have other friends. Unfortunately, you have other friends. But
Did you say unfortunately?
I'm kidding.
It's fortunate.
Erica has a really big issue with that, by the way.
No.
With what?
With the fact that,
No, it's okay.
she didn't want to be my best friend at first because I had another best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, you got another best friend,
And I was like, so we have a connection and we're going to be best friends.
Okay.
And everybody's friendship is different.
Okay.
My longest friendship was like somebody I still talk to today. It was about 20 years. Ebony.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And that's like, at this point, she's family.
Right. Yep. It might have been, was it more than 20
It might have been
Who
more
was
than
that?
Ebony.
Oh yeah.
And just you met Ebony.
Yeah.
And yeah, as long as like we all know each other, I'm cool.
Mhm.
For me, it's probably, I have quite a few because I'm actually still friends with people, mostly guys, that were in elementary school.
Mhm.
I'm talking first grade with me. That's
Damn.
Alfie and Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
They were in first grade with me, and I still talk to them.
Yeah.
That's
So I'm not
cool.
going to say how many years that is.
Oh, we know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, you got me beat on that. I would say probably happy, because we were in, I think from the 6th grade on,
Okay.
we was together. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I could probably go back now that I think about it. I got somebody from kindergarten, Kia.
Oh, that's right. How could you not? Yes.
I know. Dang. So, yep.
I think like maybe 15
Okay.
with Kristen.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I feel like those friendships, it's funny because you see them evolve as a person, but then like you guys aren't as close anymore. Or I don't know, me and Ebony are still close, but okay, I'll say a friend who I know for a long time, like Imani. I know her since 4th grade. I've known her for a long time, but we used to be best friends, but we're still close because I know her, how she was before, and I know her family. So like it's still close and it's still love, but we're not close in our mature years. But like I consider her family because we known each other so long.
Right.
Right.
So what about friendship arguments? Like how do you think those affect the friendship, or how do you kind of get over that in friendships? Not even us as best friends, but any friendship.
I think it's about respect, right? So you can have a disagreement or whatever, but I think depending on the ties, like, so like I said, happy, and then like my girlfriend Landa, but each of them have a child that I'm the godparent to as well, right? And so even though distance have come and it was times where things got heated, it still is like a mutual respect. Like you said, because we basically like family, right? So it's not going to really you get heated, you get upset, but then still at the end of the day, there's still love.
Right.
I think arguments are definitely a test of the strength of your friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they are very important, honestly, because you're supposed to see everybody in what Tyler Perry say or Medea say. You're supposed to see everybody in all 4 seasons.
Right.
Right.
Just when they get angry and like how they act towards you, because really, like at first, me and Just, I mean, we only had one big argument that I can even think of. Before it was just
that we will never speak of ever again.
But before it was like we didn't argue or anything, but that was important because it was just it really too, it shows how valuable that person is to you. Because if you're quick to be like, well, screw this, blah blah, depending on how extreme the argument was, you can just be like, oh, I don't need them in my life. But then too, that goes to what Auntie Renee was saying, like, that's family, like that's your best friend. So you just address it and talk about it though. That's big too. To discuss it.
Yeah, letting them know like, okay, this is what we not gonna do ever again because I wasn't messing with that. Like we cool now, and I know you got love, and I know it wasn't out of a bad place, but just communicating after the fact, like, okay, we may get into arguments, but we need to keep it to a certain level so that we don't blow past that and end up messing up our friendship.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever did. I mean,
most of our arguments, Auntie Penny, was just like during a conversation, and then we just move past it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We argue, and then we just move past it. I don't know.
Yeah. That's something.
Yeah, I don't know. But people,
And I don't know if that was too because we did live together. Like in when we lived together, we were we lived together on the strength of my bestie wanted to help me get back to a place where she knew I wanted to be. So it was like, listen, you come down here, you stay with me. And she had you, Erika, and I had Kyle. And it was just like, okay, this is what you need to do. And through that process, of course, it was, all right, I thought I was going to be ready to move right now. Okay, well, how did you think you was going to be ready to move if you didn't do this? So but it was almost too like an unspoken word. We didn't really ever have to sit down and say, okay, this is what's going to be done and this is what's going to be done. And, it was just, and maybe because we had already been friends for so long.
But then I think too, it depends on the people, because I feel like y'all are the same, but y'all are opposites. Like I feel like me and Just are a lot of alike in a sense. Like we're both what's the word I'm looking for? Like feisty in a way. Like we can butt heads on that type. Like, if she come at me, I'm coming at her. Like just that's how we are. And it's not from no ill intent, but that's just the people we are. Like my mom, she could be bossy and everything, but not that you're necessarily passive, Auntie Renee, but it's just not the same. So I feel like that it just depends on the people and the friendship. So friendships and guys. Have you guys ever ended a friendship over a guy, a boy, a man?
Never.
Okay. How do y'all feel about that?
As far as what do you mean? Should friends end over a dude?
Or like just
like if it does,
or what a reason is behind it, or examples you may have heard from people who ended it. Or
now I think that a friendship can end over a dude, and when I say dude, I don't mean just some dude. I mean like a husband or somebody that you're really with, and then they both, do something, not right to, your relationship. Then it should end with both of them probably. You know what I mean? But I don't know about like ending my friendship with my girlfriend. Okay, my girlfriend and my man had an affair. And I'm going to end my friendship with my girlfriend but stay with my man.
Right.
I think the most common things that end friendships with girls when it comes to guys is if like the guy does something wrong and then the best friend or the other friend finds out and tells the girl, and she don't believe her.
Oh,
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think
Yeah.
it might necessarily end. It can change the dynamics of
Right.
it for sure. Because
right.
I've been in situations like that where I just looked at the person differently because they withheld information from me about a guy. I mean, granted, it's not their job to tell me, but as a friend, of course, I hold you to a different standard.
Right.
So it's just I just look at you differently. But a guy does play a role in like how it affects your friendships. Like you said, a guy maybe you're seriously dating or you're married to. But even like little flings be affecting people's friendships. I don't know.
Yeah, it should. I mean, it does, but it probably shouldn't. But I think that's the thing too. Like defining if it's your husband, and I'm sure you probably remember we were presented with this, and so my mom was like, "Keep your mouth shut," because it's a thin line between a husband and a wife, and no matter what happens, you know, you don't want to come off like you trying to ruin them, right? And you got to let her handle that the way that she needs to handle it. So I think because I got advice like that, I mean, it still came out, right? And she still dealt with it for as long as she dealt with it until she was tired, right? And so, but within that, I think it takes that individual. And to me, when it comes to certain things about relationships, especially when it's that close, husband and wife, or fiance, or the father of your child, that individual, the way they handle it is, like you said, with other things, is a reflection of them, right? So then somebody has to be the bigger person, and you just be like, and not take it personal, you know what I mean? So, and I think once again, I think me and Sherry was presented with a lot of different stuff at a young age. So we always like had our powwows on the side and was like, okay. And I remember having that because I was like, Sherry, I don't know if I would tell you, you know what I mean?
You better tell me.
Yep. And she said, you better tell me. And I was like, okay, enough said. And we ain't never had to discuss it again. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But it does. It matters. It depends on. And then unfortunately to me, when it's a boyfriend and the girl the girlfriend find out that the boyfriend cheated or saw something or whatever, I think too, it's the delivery. You know what I mean? Like, listen, that's your man. You're going to have to make that final choice, but I want you to know what I know.
Right.
Right.
And I'm going to love you regardless.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
No judgment thing.
Right. Or you can step to the dude and be like, look, you got
because I probably would fight him.
You got 3 days to tell her. If you don't tell her, I'm going to tell her. It's going to be better coming from you. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm getting ready to say, and I don't know about this generation because y'all are different. And then of course too, we was just like you say, I'm passive, but I could be about what I need to be. And I think we had that established when we knew it was serious with our girlfriends, like the dudes, like don't play, because if you do something to her, it's a done deal.
Right. Right.
And then, they probably could have slapped us into next week, but they knew where we was coming from.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And I be telling my mom, like, me and Just are both single, but when one of us gets a man, we ain't gonna know what to do. We gotta get a man who has a brother or a cousin.
Right.
Or you're gonna have one man taking both y'all out. Like,
exactly.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's funny. That's true.
Now, what do y'all think about generational differences in friendships?
Like, do you think that there is even a generational difference between friendships now and friendships before, or you think they're pretty much the same?
I think it depends on the people. And like Justice said, it depends on your morals and values. To me, that's something that transcends time.
So it's not generational then.
It's not generational, right?
Okay. What you think, Justin?
I'm sitting here trying to think of my mom and her best friend and if we have any differences. I don't think so. I think like maybe like y'all just, I don't know if it's just because y'all known each other longer or whatever, but y'all have like, well, my mom and when her best friend, they had like sayings and like stuff that like insiders and stuff that I've learned from like them. Like they used to say, like they used to talk every morning on their way to work or whatever. And they always used to say, "Morning Glory, what's your story?" or stuff like that. And I'd be like, okay, like, but they'd have like little sayings and stuff like that only two of them say to each other and stuff like that. Me and Erica, I mean, like we'll share Instagram posts and we'll like have sayings from like Instagram posts or whatever.
Right.
But outside of that, that's the only thing I can think of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What do y'all think?
Yeah, we were saying how we feel like y'all had to put in a lot more work to sustain y'all friendships back in the day because we do have phones, social media. So like I can go weeks without talking to my friends, but checking in on their social media to see what they doing, be like, okay, they straight, or they look like they straight, they good, or I can just DM them something, a comment, and just my interaction with them for the week. You know, like y'all had to pick up the phone, call each, or when y'all did get phones, pick up the phone.
We always had phones. It just wasn't cell phones.
Right.
Okay. Pick up the house phone, call each other. And y'all had to do more work, and I feel like that's valuable. And like like you said, face-to-face interaction. You know, we talk about that a lot.
So when I moved to Atlanta, I was here and really didn't have anybody else here. So I was concerned about that at first. And I was like, oh my God, you know, I'm here, whatever. Doreen probably came down that year. How many weekends in a year? 52? So she probably came down about 42. Those 52 weeks. Well, and then, maybe not, maybe half, because the other half I was up there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was, you know, it was like I wasn't really down here by myself, you know?
That's cool.
Okay, and oh gosh, talking about something old. The coolest thing, this is before they even had email with the computers. Remember, Sherry? It was this some type of prudential mail that we could talk to each other.
Right.
So every morning, Sherry would check in, and I would check in, and then God rest her soul, Dion would check in, right? And Shelly. And then, and that honestly, that's what let us know something was wrong when Sherry had her accident down here.
Because I didn't check in.
She didn't check in that morning. So I guess like you saying, Justice, you know, with your mom and her best friend. So we did have our little code as well, too. And then real quick, talking about phones, don't sleep on my bestie because she gave me one of the best gifts. Remember when I moved and you gave me that phone and it had
today?
Oh my God.
The house phone?
Yes.
Yes. It's a house phone.
All right.
I bought her a cell phone. I bought her last cell phone.
That's been 29 years
I'm going to buy her another one.
It's kind of like the work phones now. Remember that big gray phone? And it had all the contraptions. And we used to leave our voicemails.
Oh, your music playing in the background.
That was real innovative. So y'all like
we had to
a lot of ways.
Yeah, we had
to.
Yeah.
I feel like that takes away from.
Yeah.
E, we can't hear you now.
I'm too far back. But I feel like they were more innovative. Having different ideas, like we just know, like I don't feel like we do. We feel like we have to do that, or feel like we have to do too much. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we should, but I don't think we feel like we do.
And we didn't feel like we had to. We just did
because y'all didn't really have other ways, like.
But we wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, we would listen. We would jump out of a car at the corner where the telephone booth was, and have some quarters and make a call if that's what we needed to do, because that's what we had until the pagers came along.
Didn't catch Corona on the phone.
Oh no, but Sherry, remember with the pagers? With the pagers, it was you put 4 3 7 7 0 and turn it upside down.
It says hello.
It's hello.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what you used to do on the calculator.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that
Very generational. Very generational.
That's very generational. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, ladies.
So much. We appreciate it. This was beautiful.
It was. It went fast.
It did.
Yes, our besties. We're going to be trying to get more guests on here. You guys were like some of the first.
Right.
So
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to proceed and get more guests.
So we need to do a little besties brunch or whatever next time Justice comes to town.
Nice.
Yeah, just next time you come.
Yes.
We'll do it.
I've been wanting to come.
We'll do it in 2 different things. We'll do it so y'all take us to where y'all want us to go, and then we'll take you.
Oh
there.
yeah,
That's good. Yeah,
we're gonna take them to Oak.
Right. I was like, y'all mind a little hookup?
What?
Man, y'all gonna be surprised. That'll be fun.
I think that'll be fun.
That would be
Yeah,
fun.
that will be.
Okay, that's a plan.
Yep.
That's a bet.
Yep. Well, love you, ladies.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.
Mwah.